Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and welcome to our channel. I appreciate y'all being here. And if you're new to the channel, if you're finding us for that very first time, welcome. It's good to have you. And as a quick reminder to all, my focus, my mission here on the channel is I want to be able to provide as much information as I can to as many people as I can, across all regions. And the best way I can do that is when you choose to subscribe to the channel, when you choose to hit that like button, and when you choose to share the videos with friends, associates, and colleagues. And so if you've not yet done so, please take a moment, subscribe, hit the like button, share the videos with associates and colleagues. And for additional ways that you can choose to support the channel and additional ways that I can help take your business that next level, please check out those links below. And so with that said, let's get into our topic here today. And it's 5 things you need to know before buying a gym. 5 things you need to know before buying a gym. So let's get into our list. And so number 1, research your competition. You know what's out there. And when I say competition, I'm not just talking brick and mortar. What's your online competition? What else do you have out there? I mean, city facilities, local parks, these are all part of the, piece of the pie there. So research your competition. And here's the things that I'd be looking for, okay, is, what's your point of differentiation? What are you going to be doing that's so different than everybody else? What are you going to do? What are you going to bring to the marketplace that nobody else is doing? What are you going to be doing that's so much better? Because those are the things that are going to set you apart. Because if you're viewed as exactly the same, it's going to come down to price, right? So really do some research on the competition. What's out there? What do they do well? What do they not do so well? Where's an opportunity, in this marketplace? Number 2, consider your personal and business finance. Consider your personal and business finance. And so on the personal side, the thing that, I'd suggest taking a look at, and you can research here on the channel other videos on some of these topics. But on the personal side, if you're going to buy a gym, are you going to leave your current employment when you do this? Okay. Now, if you do, it puts more pressure on the gym to be able to perform, to make sure it takes care of your compensation. Okay. Are you going to hire someone to do it? How's that going to work? Okay. And then on the business finance side, okay, one of the things you want to make sure you do. I know a lot of folks when they buy a gym, they get kind of lean, and all their money goes into acquiring it. Make sure that you have at least 1 month operating capital on hand, minimum. Okay, and it can be a line of credit, it can be cash on hand, but make sure you've got at least 1 month. You might even argue you want 2 or 3 months, but at least 1 month on hand. So if it's costing you $50,000 a month to run it, let's have that much ready to go, just in case something happens, just in case an opportunity presents itself. You want to make sure you have ready access. And a couple places, check the links below on different financing options. We can help you with this. We can actually help you with financing to actually acquire the gym, but then also, financing for lines of credit and things of this nature to make sure you've got that 30-day, operating capital, on hand. So look at your personal and business finance. What does that look like? Okay. Number 3, you want to get realistic about the risk involved. You want to get realistic about the risk involved. Okay. Now, first thing, if you're going to acquire a gym, one of the things I would suggest that you do, and we do this with a lot of new startups, but if you're going to acquire one and it's your first one, I would get a business plan together. Okay. Now, as a little side note, we can help you with that. Okay. And my strategy on helping to prepare a business plan is collaborative in nature. And the reason we do it collaborative in nature, A, it brings costs way down, right? But number 2, and probably even more important than that, is we want it to be an educational process. We really want to educate you on really everything you need to know to make this business successful. Let's just don't go into it in trial and error. So be realistic about the risk involved. What are the risks? What are the risks? And then how are you going to mitigate those risks? Okay, the economy, world events, could be a host of things in there, loss of key personnel, new competition coming in. There's a lot of risk involved there. And what we want to understand is how do we mitigate those risks? Okay, how are we going to handle this? Can we make those tough decisions if need be? Okay, so get realistic about the risk involved. I hear a lot of folks say, I hear this a lot of times with new startups. Well, what's the risk? Well, there is none. We've got this all figured out. Well, the reality is, if there's no risk, there's not going to be any upside. They go hand in hand. Okay, so get really realistic about that. Number 4, understand the timing. Understand the timing. Okay, does the timing fit? Because there's a lot of things that have to happen here. Okay, if you're going to buy a gym, there's funding involved, funding to acquire it. There's funding for maybe cash on hand. There's hiring personnel. There's leaving your job potentially. Okay, there's going to be staffing issues, staffing concerns. There's a lot of things that kind of have to happen there at the same time. But also understand, hey, is now the best time to do it? And actually, as this video is being produced, this may indeed be the best time, okay? Because now's the time to really advance and to expand into a marketplace. If there's other folks that are kind of in retreat mode a little bit, you want to advance and to expand. And then number 5, on things you need to know before buying a gym, is hiring help, hiring staff, bringing staff on board. If you've never owned a gym, you're looking to buy your first one, your people, your staff, this is your brand. Okay, this is who you are. And you want to get a strategy in place to handle this. This is one of the key things that I would focus on for any owner to really zero in on. Is, we want to have really what I would call a recruiting plan of action, where we're always talking to people. There's a strategy for information always going out. I'm happy to chat with you about that. If you need some of that kind of help, you can click the link below for a free strategy session, and happy to have that conversation with you. But we always want to be looking. You never want to find yourself hiring to fill a slot, and you never want to find yourself keeping somebody around because you have no one to replace them. Okay, it puts you in a very bad and very awkward situation, and staff is crucial. So how do we hire them, or how do we recruit them? Maybe number 1, how do we hire them? How do we onboard them? How do we train them? All of this are going to be key components to this, when you get into your first gym. And one of the things I would mention here, it's not on my list on 5 things you need to know, but one of the biggest issues in business, okay, one of the biggest issues in the gym business that really is that roadblock to a really long-term success, it's complacency. And a lot of times when you get into some of these deals, and we're coming in and we're full force, we're bringing lots of energy, lots of positivity, lots of creativity, don't start to take it for granted. Don't get complacent with it, okay? Because if you do it right, you can have an awful lot of success. So 5 things you need to know, before buying a gym. Take a look at them, okay? Matter of fact, if you own one right now, how do you look on each one of those? Okay, how do each one of those categories look to you? But take a look at those. If you're looking to acquire a facility, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to click the link below for a free strategy session. Sometimes it can be good to get a second set of eyes on financial statements, and not only a second set of eyes to be able to say, hey, where is the opportunity here, with this business? So folks, my name is Jim Thomas. My company is Fitness Management and Consulting. Appreciate you being here at the channel today. And as I mentioned previously, my focus, my mission here in the channel is I want to be able to provide as much information as I can to as many people as I can, and across all regions. And the best way I can do that is when you choose to subscribe to the channel, when you choose to hit that like button, and when you choose to share the information with friends, associates, and colleagues. And then additionally, for additional ways you can choose to support the channel, and for additional ways that I can help take your business that next level, check out those links below. And again, if you're looking to acquire a facility, you need additional funding, check the financing links, or feel free to reach out direct, and happy to talk to you about how we can help you gain funding for that new facility. So folks, we look forward to seeing you all in that next video.